And good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you, Flo?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic today. How are you?
I am fantastic. Getting over a long week of of everything, of everything, Flo.
You weren't
It's
sick, were you?
no, I was not sick. Sick and no, I was not sick at all. What I was doing most of the week is preparing new agents to enter our industry.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It has been an absolute joy, but it's tiresome, So I had two classes running this week. We had the life and health course, and we had property and casualty, both running at the same time. And so we're just kind of now waiting on people to go in and take their exam. And then on the other side, we had a new class where we started doing the exam cram or the crash course, kind of whatever you want to call it. So for those people that have failed the course in the past, that they basically were people that came from doing it online. And so I mentioned it to you just through a text message to see how, and we've had success with the people that have gone back. So we had five folks, two have gone back to take the exam and they have passed it. So, sometimes they just get fearful when they're
Hmm.
getting ready to take that exam. And, we got this, what we call our 5-step formula in order to help people make sure that they get through the exam. And that's going to be our new thing that we're going to start doing. And as a matter of fact, Flo, they were not in Georgia. These people were in Ohio and Colorado.
All right. All
Okay.
right. I like that.
So
I like that.
I'm excited, and just to see so many people getting ready to make changes in their careers. Either they're
Mhm.
starting this or they are, folks that are just coming from retirement, or they're either sick and tired of what they're doing and want to get into this $1 trillion industry that we're in.
Okay. Okay. Now y'all can see we have a third person in our podcast. That's my coordinator back there, office coordinator. So she refuses to get out of the screen. So we just gonna overlook her because she's working and she's gonna work. So y'all just overlook her because I am revamping my office and this is the lady that does it for me. Her
Okay.
name is Pam. Does an excellent job. So just ignore her back there. She might make a little bit of noise. And she's prickly today for some reason. So we're gonna ignore her back there.
That
Okay,
is not a
that's the
problem.
one that's helping me get this office organized. So it's a blessing I have her, but she refused to get out the film. But anyway, this is Mad Flow, everybody, making a difference for life of others. I'm not crazy, but I am mad about making a difference for life of others through financial literacy. So excited to be here with you, ladies and gents out there today. We have a great show for you. Look like it's going to be me and Tanya, the insurance professor, here today. So that means you're going to have a double whammy today instead of a quattro, but we're going to give it to you the best we can. So we're going to
Absolutely.
be talking about a lot of stuff today, but our main topic that we really want to discuss today is going to be on long-term care because November is long-term care awareness month. So we want you to understand the benefits and understand why you need long-term care.
Definitely, so many people don't have that flow, and I don't even know if they know what it is. You want to kind of describe what long-term care actually is, because people don't have it, maybe because they don't know what it is.
Mhm. And long term care is a type of insurance, just like life insurance. The only difference is with life insurance, when do you benefit from life insurance? Your family benefit upon your death. Woo! It's hard to say, but that's when they benefit because that's when they need it because the income has is no longer there. So there's an income replacement with life insurance. Now, when it comes to long term care insurance, totally different. And there's two ways you can get long term care insurance. You can get it as a standalone policy, which means you pay a certain amount every month or annually or semi-annually or quarterly. So you pay that amount, and basically you can pay it in a lump sum or you can pay it a premium. Now the standalone works just like if you don't use it, you lose it, which means if you've never needed to use that long-term care policy benefits and you pass away without using it, nothing goes to your family, okay? Your family does not receive any benefits from that, any death benefit or anything. So that's one way you can get long-term care. Now, another way you can get long-term care is a new way, which is as a writer on a life insurance policy. When you're applying for certain life insurance, such as Index Universal Life, you can also have a long-term care rider added. Just like you can have a child policy added on your policy, now you have long-term care added on. Now, ladies and gents, listen to this. The difference between the standalone and the rider is this. With the rider on the life insurance policy, if you need long-term care while you're living, that death benefit, whatever the amount of the death benefit, let's say it's $500,000. Now you have $500,000 of living benefits, which is long-term care, which means you can use 100% of your death benefit while you're living. Okay, so that's the great benefit of having it on as a rider with a life insurance policy. Now, what if you did not use? What if you didn't need it and you just pass away? Now, guess what? That 500,000 now goes to your family. So now your family has income. Okay, so we everyone really needs to start having long-term care. Basically, you can get it at age 18. With some companies, it's 18. Some companies they're going to wait till Nationwide waits until you're 21.
21.
One of the companies, but most companies at age 18, if they offer it, you can get long-term care at age 18. And Tanya, some people might say, why do I need long-term care at age 18? I mean, I'm not. What is long-term care? In case you can't do two of the daily living activities, then your long-term care would jump in.
Would definitely take over and come in. And what the statistics say is that people that are age 30 will have more likely a chance to use long-term care than those that are 65. Because at any time, and as you're young, you are a little more risky and get into an automobile accident and lose two of your daily activities. So that is another reason that you should get long-term care insurance. And one of the things that I talk about a lot and why it's so important is because we're living longer. And as we live longer and as the medicine is advanced out there, then it's keeping you alive. However, you may not be able to dress yourself or you may not be able to feed yourself. So you're going to need that type of assistance as you get older. And as what I have seen in my family is that because of the age and people living longer, that our family members are still in the age of working and trying to get to the retirement stage and really can't afford to come and take care of grandma or mama, sometimes because they're still working. So after those 6 weeks that you have been in whatever capacity of not being able to take care of yourself, then you are going to need some assistance, possibly at home. But your family will make a decision, possibly to put you in a facility. Wow. And when they put you in that facility, that is something huge that really takes away all of your retirement, something that you really sat down to plan for and to have. And you can lose your retirement through not having long-term care in place. and that's what I've seen. And I want people to understand that you can have your life insurance, you can have your affordable health care, not affordable health care, you can have your life insurance, your health insurance, and you really do need to have long-term care insurance if you have not planned for um, older age. And if you don't have it in place, then again, you're depending on your family to take care of you. And Flo, as far as I know now, most people only have 2.5 children, right?
Yeah. Where's that other half? Is the bottom half the top half? That's the part I want to know.
Right. And with your 2 children that you have, who is going to take care of you? Right? So you got to look at that. If you have 2 children, now you're aged 80, your children are probably 60 to 50 at that time, and they're still not retired yet. They still have a family that they're raising, and maybe not raising, but still trying to get to that. So who's going to take care of you? They're
And
going to take off 6 weeks. They're going to come and take care of mama for that length of time. And now they're looking at their 80-year-old mom like, she was 50. Like, okay, aren't you going to get up, mama?
mhm.
So,
And what about those who don't have any children and basically they still have not invested in getting long-term care? Well, I want you guys to do this out there. I want my audience to do this. I want you to start practicing with each other, your husband and wife. I want you to start practicing with each other. So when you get to that point where you need long-term care, you'll be well trained for it. So what I want you to start doing, I want you to start practicing picking up each other and putting each other on the bed. Okay? You fall out the bed, pick each other up, put it in the bed. See how hard that is. I want you to start giving each other a sponge bath. And then I want you to go on top of that. I want you to start putting each other in the bath and giving each other bath. You got to practice for this now. And I also want you to do this. I want you to practice changing adult diapers on each other. Okay? And just take and put some chocolate down there just to make it real life. But I want you to start changing your adult diapers in each other, okay? Because that's what happens when we talk about long-term care. I want you to start feeding each other. One cannot use their hand, and I want you to start feeding each other. Practice, practice, practice. You might be in your 30s or 40s right now, or 50s. I want you to start practicing for this. I want you to start practicing reminding each other of certain things that you forgot, and just start reminding each other, because that's when Alzheimer's sits in. And I want you to also practice on trying to say, I can't remember your face. Alzheimer's is setting in. They can't remember your name. So you guys, if y'all don't want to, take this kind of thing serious, go ahead and start practicing now. So when you get up to 80 years of age, you can't take care of yourself. You can't do 2 of the daily living activities, which is what? The 6 of the daily living activities. If you can't do this, bathing, continence, dressing, eating, toileting, and transferring, and you can't do 2 of those, you're in a state which we call a chronic situation, and you need long-term care assistance where someone has to come in and assist you doing these things. And guess what? Long-term care benefits has changed. At one point, you had to hire a certified nurse or someone certified to come in and take care of your mom or your dad. Now the regulations have changed.
mhm,
I can have my daughter to come in and pay my daughter now out of my long-term care benefits.
right.
So while if she has to take off from work in order to take care of me without long-term care, she's just missing work and not getting paid or having to use her sick time or her vacation time. But if I'm able to pay her out of my long-term care and she can come in my home and assist and take care of me, it's a whole lot easier on her and on the person who is the long-term care recipient. So long-term care is something we need, and this is long-term care awareness month. So get in contact with a insurance professional, and that's who you need to talk to. You can talk to me, you can talk to Tanya, or anyone else that you know that is an insurance professional that can help you in that area.
And so I have long-term care, and I bought a separate policy for my husband and I. And we bought these policies when we were younger. So they were not expensive, you know. They are reasonable because we pay per quarter on these
Mhm.
policies. So, and paying per quarter is a whole lot different than, of course, paying monthly. And when you look at paying $146 quarterly compared to what I pay for my mom's. So, my mom, I bought her a long term care policy, but I didn't get it until she was 65,
Mm.
which was risky, right? But she was in excellent condition. So she was able to get a policy, didn't it wasn't bad. And I think hers started at $156. And how these work when you purchase them by themselves is that it gives you a kind of a lot like a lump sum of money. Let's say this one is $250,000. And after 90 days, if she needs it, after the 90-day elimination period, that's on the test. Those are test things. After that 90-day elimination period, then she would be able to use those benefits by having someone come in if she needs them to take care of her because we're someplace else, or it's too much for my sister and I because mom only had two children, right? So um but the cost of her policy, again, we would only have $250,000 worth of usage. Once
Mhm.
that $250,000 is gone, then we're back to our pockets again. And with healthcare and getting assistance, it can get very expensive because it's something that Medicare does not cover. It again, it's something that Medicare does not cover.
Cover.
Okay. Long term care is something Medicare does not cover. And if you need adult daycare, if you need assistance again in your home, if you need someone to help with shopping, again, that is the long term care. If you need to be placed in a nursing home, so even if you don't have it, let's say like most people don't have long-term care, you have a family member that gets ill, and then you try to take care of them in
Mm.
your home or in their home, and now it's 6 months later, you realize that you can't pick her up, you can't help her get to the bathroom, you don't want to change diapers, you can't put in, and just manage anymore. So now you want to place them in a nursing home.
Mhm.
So what happens to the income in the nursing home? So mom has what? Social Security and her retirement, right? And between Social Security and her retirement, it may not pay all of the nursing home's costs. All right.
Mhm.
But they're going to take all of that. But she still has whatever bills that she has at home. The nursing home has now taken all of her retirement and all of her
Social
her
Security.
Social Security. You got to manage whatever she has at home because now she's being managed there. Now let's say that that's still not enough. Then they place your mom on Medicaid
Mhm.
because she still needs additional assistance. Takes all of her income because it's going to healthcare, and now they put them on Medicaid. Once she has deceased, you think that you have the house that mom left you, and now Medicaid is coming back at that home because they want to get their money for the
Mhm.
time that you were there. We can't outrun it,
You
okay?
sure can't.
You can't have enough money in the bank or in your retirement, unless you got millions of dollars
Billions.
to take
Put
care
a
of,
B on there.
right, to take care of long-term care and to take care of the nursing home. I don't know what that's about, but I'm telling you, I've seen it happen to the best of people, and we're not ready for it. And if you don't have long-term care, either as a standalone or in an insurance policy, you're going to be in trouble as you get older. So expect to be here till 100, but have something in place, please. Have something in place.
Mm-hmm. And it's not about the issue. What if it will happen if you continue to live, rather when it will happen. Because you will eventually get to the point where your body is, our bodies are designed to what? Deteriorate. We're not designed to live forever. Our bodies are designed to deteriorate until we, pass away. So it's not if, it's when. And eventually you're gonna need it. And this is the thing, Tanya. See, when I first got to the industry, the financial industry, the first thing I did was change me and my husband's insurance policies, plans, because we had term. I had no idea about other types of life insurance. But when I first got in the industry, our company was not offering long-term care as a rider on the insurance policy. And I still had not known about long-term care at that point either. But the following year, the company made a change. They made it where you can get long-term care on the insurance policy. So I got another insurance policy on my husband, including long-term care. He got it no problem. I apply for it. I'm denied. He's 10 years older than me. He's healthier than me. So my high blood pressure kept me from initially getting insurance. And then after that, it kept me from getting long-term care benefits. And I kept applying and I kept doing more and better things for my body, eating healthier, hula hooping, exercise, and do what I need to do to increase. So every 2 years, you can apply to have long-term care added to my insurance. So nationwide, I finally got the insurance, but could not get long-term care. Every 2 years, I was applying, I was denied. Every 2 years, I was applying, I was denied. This started in 2013. And finally, September this year, I reapplied with Transamerica for a life insurance policy and to include long-term care. I was approved.
Woo!
It's free, so now I have a long-term care with my husband. So I don't have to worry about it if something happens to me where I need long-term care. He has the income to basically, take care of me, and I have the same. Because I was practicing. I said, baby, fall down for me so I can pick you up. Let me see if I can pick you up. I was practicing.
No, absolutely not.
But I have long-term care, and it's also life insurance is going to, your health is going to determine whether you get life insurance. Your health is definitely going to determine whether you can get long-term care. Your activities, how active you are, how risky your life is, basically will also determine whether you're going to get approved for life insurance as well.
Right.
The younger you are,
Yes.
the better it is to start with life insurance and long-term care. 18 years of age, everyone should have some sort of long-term care. A small amount. If it's just have to start with 100,000, start with 100,000 at 18, and then increase it as you get older.
Absolutely. Long-term care is one of, again, I'm going on test question. Long-term care, long-term care and Medicare supplements are the two things that pre-existing conditions they take a look at. They want to see your pre-existing condition. So all other, if you're getting health insurance of some sort, they don't look at pre-existing conditions. So there's only two types of policies that do. And again, it's long-term care and it is Medicare supplement plans. They look at your pre-existing conditions. So we need to be sure that we get this early when we're healthy, when we're young, and it's less expensive.
Yes.
So, waiting until you're taking medications is really almost too late. Um,
Hmm.
but you don't have to use it all. You could use some. And having part of long-term care as a part of your life insurance and being able to use it when you use it as what you said, living benefits. So you use these benefits while you're living, and it really does help. And I can only think about my father. My dad had 6 bypasses in his 50s, and so he was self-employed. He was totally self-employed, and so after he had the bypass surgery, he came home after being in the hospital. He probably was supposed to stay home and really recuperate for, at least 2 months. But being self-employed and having to go back to work immediately, that's what happened. But if he would have had long-term care, then he would have been able to sit home and take care of himself, have someone take care of himself, and not have to worry about getting back out to work. And if it was in a life insurance policy, just imagine at that time being able to pull down $50,000. That probably would have gone a long ways in the 90s of $50,000 out of a life insurance policy to have someone take care of him and have enough money to manage your household for 3 months, because when it comes out of that life insurance policy, they're not looking at what you're using it for when you pull that money down. Okay. So if you're using it, decreasing your death benefit, then you said that you had a chronic illness, then it can be used for care, and it can be used for your benefits of, everyday life. So it is so needed. And if you don't have a life insurance policy with long-term care in it, with living benefits in it, and those living benefits are if you have a critical illness or chronic illness or terminal illness, you can use your death benefit while you're still alive and leave your family members
Hmm.
smaller, your beneficiary a smaller death benefit amount, because you used it, but it
While
was
you're
already
alive,
for you.
when you
Right,
need it the most.
right.
Hmm.
So please change, add another policy, but get it. It will save your life in the long run. And at least if you don't use it, then you have the death benefit, like Flo said. So we're just stressing and talking to you over and over again in reference to having something, but having nothing is just not acceptable these days.
Having
Because
nothing, they just need to continue practicing on each other.
from really practicing, I don't think I can pick my husband up, and I don't think my husband can really pick me up. You know what I mean? Can you imagine? That's dead weight now.
Dead
If
weight.
I can't move, that's dead weight.
Uh-huh.
So you're not really assisting. And, no, I can't even imagine.
Hmm.
So please get something. And we always think that our family members are going to be there. But Flo, I watched my aunties. My grandmother was in her 90s, and my aunties are in their 70s and going into
Mm.
their 80s, right? They call themselves going to be with grandma and help take care of her. They couldn't do anything. They were talking about
Mm-mm.
how their knees hurt and how their back hurt and how this hurt. All they could do was cook a meal. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. They still had to call somebody to come and do something because they
Yeah.
couldn't. But it's something that you want to think about and do and plan to be there for them. Thank you, Barbara. Hey, Mimi. Um, but it's something that we can't do that. We're not in the shape. We're gonna be here,
And
and
Tanya,
yeah,
they
yeah,
need to do this not for them. They need to do it for their children.
yes,
Because you do not want your children, and really you don't know if your children are going to do it anyway, but you can't rely on that. But you should do it for your children because of the fact that, they're still living their lives.
Mhm.
And they're not, they have to quit work and come take care of you when you should have taken care of that a long time ago. Have long-term care in place so that when the income is needed for your health, it is there.
Absolutely.
So do it for your children. It's very selfish, in my opinion, for someone not to have long-term care.
You hit them in the throat just then.
Chop it off.
So as long as this is long-term care awareness month, like you said, but it's also diabetes month. And um, having diabetes is another quick way to have long-term care,
Hmm.
because what when we have issues with our diabetes, then that causes so many other issues in our bodies. That causes us to sometimes lose limbs. It causes our pancreas to not act right. Causes us to have need some kind of a liver. It's a transplant. What's the all I can think is DaVita kidney. Have kidney failure have
Hmm.
kidney failure, and those types of conditions are very expensive. And in order to get well, you're going to need assistance. Can you imagine just having a stroke and having to take care of or be taken care of by someone? Okay, we don't feel we're okay most times when we're in the hospital, but then just think about it when you have to have that being done by your own family members. A lot of times we are very proud people, and we feel embarrassed by having someone to feed us or change us or bathe us or and that kind of stuff. So you still want to put this in place so that you can still um, live with dignity
Hmm.
and self pride. And because for some reason, we don't mind someone else doing it for us, but we don't want our family members to see us in that way.
Hmm.
So please put something in place. Put something, think about it, add it to. And if you don't have these types of things in your insurance policy, then I ask that you at least, if if you're still young and capable of getting an insurance policy, then please make sure that you add this into your insurance policy. It's just a little check mark. It may cost you a couple of dollars for some plans. Some insurance companies don't charge you anything to add it, at least your critical and your chronic illness
Yeah.
care. They may charge you something for the long term care.
Long-term care.
Now, long term care has gone up, but it's
That's
still,
typical of all life insurance. Period. Every year is going to increase. So
but it still beats $800 a week paying
yes.
someone to come to the house. Okay. So $800 a week times four, that's $3,200. $3,200 a month for someone to come in. That sure wouldn't be, moms went from 156 to 169, I think is what we pay now a month. Hey, that's doggone good,
Hmm.
so yeah, and
Barbara
don't
D. Hurt.
that's right, Barbara. Don't just solely count on your employer plans. You are absolutely right, because that is something else. You cannot, when you leave that employer because you retired, what do you have? What do you have? I had one of my friends, she was doing a show the other day, and I was on her show, and she just talked about she was a principal at a school. She always had life insurance on her job. And even though she's not in her 60s, she retired. And she was just saying that that's all she had. And when she left her job, she had to buy insurance, and how expensive it was,
Hmm.
because she didn't know. She could have been paying, all of that money into her own life insurance policy instead of taking it out of her job. She said on her job she had 3 times her income. But then when she left it just recently, now she doesn't have anything, and she could
Well,
have kept what was already
Tanya,
transferred.
what a lot of people don't understand about group insurance is term life, for one thing, does not grow cash value, so you're not going to get cash value. And the company will offer them anywhere from 1 to maybe 3 times their income, annual income. So if you're making $50,000 a year, they'll offer you $100,000 term life policy. And again, if you quit or get terminated, guess what? That does not follow you. You do not have insurance. Now, if you're lucky enough to retire, guess what happens? You have 100,000 when you was there, but they cut that in half once you retire. So it's
That's
50,000. Now, when you get older, when you get about 70 years of age, that 50,000 is cut in a half again. So now you end up with $25,000 and you're 75 years of age, and that's all the insurance that you have because you was not wise enough to realize that while you was employed, when you first got employed with any job, what you should have done was also get outside life insurance on your own. Do
that's
not rely on the company. A lot of people don't realize that. Now, they'll be given under the COBRA Act, they'll be able to convert that term life when they retire to a um,
whole.
whole life. But man, they're not going to be able to afford that. It's going to cost too much. They're not able to afford it. So people are just falling into those little clicks right there, and they don't realize why and how they got to the situation they are at the age they are. Lack of financial knowledge.
That's right, Barbara. Very costly. Barbara has worked for the state of Georgia system for many years, and she saw it firsthand. That and she's retired too. So it happens, and we just don't know that it's going to happen. And our show is here to help you. Our show and why we do what we do is because we want to talk with you about the cost that it can cost you in um, getting insurance the wrong way, and how it can actually save you if you look at it the right way. And if you look at this the right way, how insurance can allow you to build wealth. And of course, we use that term a little too much sometimes, but it's so true. You can build generational wealth with insurance. And we keep doing it in our 401ks, but our 401ks, we can lose them when the stock market begins to plummet and go down like it is now. So, but in an insurance policy doing almost the same thing, you can grow your money and not lose it, and
Mm-hmm.
be able to use it as you retire, as you decide when you want to. It can supplement your income when you're retired. So we want you to think about what we're saying. We want you to make an action move. And if you think that you're too old to do it, then I'm going to say, like I always do when I'm consulting with my clients, that use your children. You're still the owner of that policy, so you can grow it. And remember, you're going to live for a long time anyway. Then, hey, go ahead and do it for your kids. Overfund it, put some money in it. 15 years later, you can probably pull some out and do some things with. You're still here. Or it could be some of the things that you may need for an emergency, even if whether or not it's illness.
Mm-hmm. But
Um,
Tanya,
mhm.
I'm going to Thailand, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to Thailand, and just what you said is what I'm doing. I use my insurance cash value to pay for my trip to Thailand. So I
Beautiful.
borrowed the money from my insurance policy to pay for my trip to Thailand. And then by next month, I'll borrow the rest because I'll be looking for my plane ticket. I'll borrow the rest from my insurance policy to buy my plane ticket. And then I'll borrow enough to have me some cash to go travel with. Pay no taxes on that money. When the cash grows, when the money goes in to grow, pay no taxes on it. And when I'm ready to pull money out, I pay no taxes on it. So I'm traveling tax free around the world. So when we tell you, ladies and gents, how you can utilize life insurance, the wealthy has been doing this for many years, and we're just catching on, but we're not taking advantage of it because of fear, because of procrastination, because of lack of knowledge, financial knowledge, or because we're just scared. But I have borrowed over $25,000 out of my life insurance policy within the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And again, remember I told you guys a long time ago I was on bankruptcy? And if you're in bankruptcy, what happens? You cannot borrow from no one, not even your brother, your sister, your family, your friends. But thank God I had already gotten a life insurance policy, cash value growth. I borrowed from that when I needed it when I was in bankruptcy. And I'll be just transparent as I can be because my story could help someone else's story. Being in bankruptcy, it's a stigma to it, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Absolutely. But you know what? You are at least talking about using your cash value. Just think of all these other people out here that have not even thought about using it. So if you've had a life insurance policy for some time now, there's money that's building in that whole life permanent policy that you have.
Mhm.
And so if just know this, if you don't lose it, you lose. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Mhm.
Just understand that your beneficiary is not going to get it. They just
Mhm.
go back to the insurance company, right?
Yeah.
So you need to use it. It is part of the living benefits. It is part of what you should be doing with the cash value. Taking it out, borrow. If you don't pay it back, it's going to deduct from the death benefit. All right, that's all. It's going to
And
just
how do you
deduct.
pay it back? You're probably saying, well, how do I pay this back? I'll incur another bill. No, you don't. All you do is you tell the company, have my premium that I'm paying in go towards my loan. And once that loan is paid off, your cash value is back where it started. So, and as simple as that, that's what I've been doing for the last 6 years now. Using that money, I had an emergency where my air conditioner, one of my rental properties, I had to repair that. That was $3,000. You know where I got the money? I got it from my life insurance policy. Borrowed the money, and that was paid off in less than 6 months. It was paid off.
And that's
So is there y'all just have to realize that the wealthy has been doing this for so many years. They understand how to take advantage of not paying taxes through life insurance, through long-term care, because long-term care, the funds that you get out of long-term care, guess what? You don't pay taxes on that money. Money goes in tax-free. You don't pay taxes on it coming out. So where's a better deal? Where is it better deal? Unless else, y'all want to keep practicing, picking up each other, changing the reminding each other about whatever. Keep practicing. Other than that, listen to what me and Tony is trying to tell you. Long-term care. This is long-term care awareness month. We want you guys to be aware. Do what you need to do and do what you got to do, but do it for your children. Stop being selfish.
You are so right, Flo. So this is November again, long-term care awareness month. This is also the month of Thanksgiving, and this is also what everybody seems to be talking about, this Black Friday. Is there going to be something great on Black Friday this year? I don't know, but that's all I keep hearing, that everybody's excited about Black Friday. I guess the malls will be excited that someone comes out to them instead of everybody staying home.
No, they're staying home. They're online. They don't stay home. They online. They're still
Okay.
spending.
So whatever, you all have a wonderful holiday. That's what we want to tell you, that this is we've been cooped up for the past 2 years, right, with COVID. And so prayerfully, you all are able to enjoy some time with your family during this Thanksgiving. Let us all be thankful for the life that we have, the health that we have, and that God is allowing us to still be here on the earth. Do something to help somebody. Do something to promote somebody, do something positive in your life to help someone else. And that's my message to everyone through from here to the end of the year. Just be an asset in your own life and be one to someone else. I'm Tanya Scott Pilcher, the insurance professor, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. After Thanksgiving, we probably won't be here next week, Friday, on Black Friday, um, but we'll have a rerun show just so that you all won't miss us. And we just want you to have a wonderful holiday weekend next week. Flo?
Tanya, I'm going to change your name. You're going to be called Tip from now on.
I like that. I do. I just couldn't make it, kind of flow.
That's
Tip.
it. I like Tip. Put Tip up there from now on. You can put under the bottom where it stands, but I like that Tip. This is Mad Flow, ladies and gents. I am not crazy, but I am mad about making a difference for life for others through financial literacy. This is what we do here. We try to get you informed enough where you can make better financial decisions. Now, if anyone out there does not take our advice and go ahead and get that long-term care, I want you to make sure that you practice. Sponge bath, picking each other up, changing your adult diapers. Make sure you're doing that. Feeding each other. So make sure you're reminding each other. So if you're not taking our advice, practice. We will see y'all on the next show. Tanya, it was great being with you, girl.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
I like that.